Coming up next, local activists and parents say black students in schools countywide are dealing with profoundly exclusionary practices. We're live.
As the holiday travel season approaches, big concerns about the spread of COVID-19 as some states see a spike in those breakthrough cases.
Plus, your smart TV, that may be spying on you. What you can do to stop it.
This is jaw-dropping and without precedent. You've never seen 6 containers stacked high. You've never seen sites like you're seeing here.
And Governor Gavin Newsom joins state and local leaders to address the logjam of cargo at Southern California ports.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. You just heard him say it. Governor Gavin Newsom is calling it jaw-dropping. The backup at the ports of Long Beach and LA can now be seen from our North County, and the governor and other leaders are laying out efforts to clear the backlog. Our
political reporter, Morgan Reiner, has those new details tonight.
Everyone speaking at the news conference today admitted that there is a lot more work to be done, both short-term and long-term. But Newsom also said that they've made significant progress. For example, the wait time that shipping containers sit empty at the port has been reduced by a third. The backup at the ports of Long Beach and LA can now be seen as far south as San Diego.
This is jaw-dropping without precedent. You've never seen 6 containers stacked high. You've never seen sites like you're seeing here.
Governor Newsom said there are many fingers to point.
The neglect over the course of the last many decades in terms of federal investment, for that matter, state and even local investment into our infrastructure.
Saying the $17 billion just dedicated to the ports in President Biden's infrastructure bill will help in the long run. In the short term,
today, with temporary permits to relieve the weight restrictions, 80,000-pound weight restrictions for trucks to 88,000.
Sweeper ships.
Just a fancy way of saying ships that are coming out here for the sole purpose of getting empty containers out of these locations, getting them back on ships and getting back into Asia.
Deal making to move ships further north.
To move some of this stress to Northern California, we have commitments from 2 carriers to go into Oakland, a third in January.
And longer hours at the DMV to help with the truck driver shortage.
Allowing us to double from 5,000 commercial tests a month to 9,700 commercial tests a month. So we're allowing more throughput.
I reached out to the National Truck Driving School to see if that last part is needed. Are there enough truck drivers applying? The owner told me yes. His student count is up 10% this year because where there is more demand, there is more money to request. But the Washington Post reports that there's an 80,000 person shortage, and that number is expected to double over the next decade.
Morgan Reiner reporting. Thanks, Morgan. The city of San Diego will pay nearly $24 million to a cyclist left paralyzed by an intoxicated driver on Fiesta Island. The council is expected to finalize the payout to Juan Vinolo next week. The driver in the 2014 crash, who was high on meth and going the wrong way, is now serving a 19-year prison sentence. But Vinolo sued the city, saying overgrown vegetation made the blind corners on Fiesta Island Road more dangerous when he and several other people in his cycling group were hit. He says the city knew about the problem, but never did anything about it.
Local activists say black students in San Diego County schools are dealing with profound exclusionary practices, and they're calling on the Department of Justice to step in.
Several groups held a news conference at Longfellow Spanish Immersion School today, calling out what they say are injustices in San Diego County's educational system.
That's where News 8's Kirsten Holmes is. She joins us live now with details. Kirsten?
Yeah, those parents and activists gathered here at Longfellow to describe what they say are horrific examples of mistreatment of their students. They say they're calling on the Department of Justice to investigate, and they're calling on attorneys to help them file a class action lawsuit.
My son feels there's no one here to protect him. When my daughter received multiple texts with dead emojis and knives, staff told her to erase them because she shouldn't want those negative vibes on her phone.
In the first grade, while riding the bus, a boy was forced to kiss my daughter. When she pushed the boy away, she was physically assaulted repeatedly by 2 older boys, leaving her swollen, bruised, and hair disheveled.
These are examples of the incidents Black parents say their kids are facing in San Diego Unified School District. These parents say their students will forever be marked by these experiences.
It has left my son frustrated and constantly crying when he explains the story and not wanting to go to school anymore. But when the officer went to leave, my son yelled out, "Wait, please don't leave. I need you to come to school with me to keep me safe." As a result of the school-related trauma, my son became terrified to go to school.
Parents say these experiences are happening to their students because of their race, adding another level of trauma to their children's education. Activists say data from the 2018-19 school year shows that Black students are a little more than 8% of the population in SDUSD and a little more than 5% of the student population across the state. But they have a disproportionate expulsion, suspension, and class removal statistic.
Suspension rate of Black girls is 5.1%, which is 46% higher than the district average. The suspension rate of Black males is 10.7%. This rate is 206% higher than the district average.
Tasha Williamson says current efforts at diversity, equity, and inclusion are not enough to address the issues across San Diego school districts.
We cannot continue to simply hire a few Black people, graduate Black students, and send them off to college, passing this as a pathway towards equity and inclusion.
I've been following equity and education stories for a while now, and I got to tell you, this isn't just a San Diego County problem. This is a problem all across the state and really all across the country. But for this story specifically, we reached out to several departments, including the California Department of Education, and their statement, we'll put it online for you in about an hour, but they gave us a statement that says that there is an achievement gap for Black students, and that statement goes on to say that our systems have failed children. That is a quote from them. Again, we'll put that full statement and the other statements that we just got in from Longfellow directly on our website, CBS8.com. You can look for that in about an hour. Carlo?
I'll take it. Thanks, Kirsten. A strike involving hundreds of non-tenured faculty at UC San Diego has been averted. A two-day walkout was scheduled to begin today, but the union and the University of California reached what's being called a historic deal this morning. That tentative deal addresses job stability, workloads, and benefits. The union represents thousands of lecturers and adjunct professors across all 9 UC campuses. Authorities are looking for a missing 3-year-old boy from Tennessee, and he could be here in Southern California. Take a look at these photos. An Amber Alert has been issued in the search for Noah Clare. This is the little boy right there, 3 years old. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the FBI say the little boy could have been taken by his father, Jacob Clare, pictured there on the right. Investigators say they could be in San Diego, Los Angeles, Orange, Ventura, or San Bernardino counties. The car police think they were riding in was found in San Clemente yesterday. If you think you have seen Noah or his dad, Jacob Clare, you are asked to please call police. With just a week to go before Thanksgiving, when family and friends are expected to gather in larger groups once again this year, the U.S. is still in the grips of the pandemic. Cases of COVID-19 are on the rise.
But while any adult can get a booster in California, the FDA is still moving toward eligibility for the rest of the United States. Naomi Ruckham has more tonight on the surge in cases nationwide.
Chicago is kicking off its holiday season with the return of its Lights Festival this weekend. The governor of Illinois saying it's time to return to pre-pandemic tradition.
After we all spent last year's holiday season apart so that we could keep each other safe from the pandemic, this year I'm cherishing every opportunity for togetherness.
But during the past 2 weeks, new cases of COVID-19 have doubled in the state as breakthrough infections surge across the country. Minnesota is one of the hotspots. The governor says federal emergency response teams are on the way to help overrun hospitals. The newest wave coming even as the CDC says nearly 200 million Americans are fully vaccinated, and about 10% of children 5 to 11 have received a first dose. Now the focus on boosters is intensifying, with the FDA expected to authorize Pfizer's extra shot for all adults as soon as Thursday.
CDC will quickly review the safety and effectiveness data and make recommendations as soon as we hear from FDA.
The CDC currently recommends boosters for people 65 and older or at high risk. But a growing list of cities and states aren't waiting around for the federal government to revise that policy.
So how do you get rid of this pandemic? It is so simple. Get more people vaccinated.
Tracking the rising infections, the NFL is cracking down. The league saying starting Thanksgiving, all players and staff will wear masks indoors, regardless of whether they've been vaccinated. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.